Yo, this is big, guys. So it seems like Francis Ngannou will never be in the UFC again. Dana White says it. Let's check it out.
Any chance Francis could be still on the mix? And
No.
you're still talking to him?
No.
With
We negotiated with him for years.
so it's over? Are you,
It's
still-
over.
What kind of place is that?
That's over. Yeah.
That means
Me saying
Francis
his
will
name
never
was
come back
wishful
at the UFC.
No. He'll never be in the UFC.
You know what's crazy is I was watching Chael Sonnen on Andrew Schultz, and he was breaking down how Francis Ngannou was not a big draw, right? Cyril Gaines is not a big draw.
Here's what your numbers are. Here was the opportunity you had with the single greatest storyline in history, and here's what your numbers were. Here's also how many times you went on ESPN, how many times you went on Rogan, how many times you sat down with Andrew.
Yeah.
There's ways to look at what you did to create that number, and he and Cyril took their ball and went home.
So what Chael Sonnen is basically saying is that Francis Ngannou had opportunities to grow his brand and get out there on social media and maybe market himself a little bit better. Him and Cyril Gaines, they had the opportunity, but they didn't capitalize on it, and it didn't translate over into pay-per-view buys. And when you bring in a lot of eyeballs into the pay-per-views for the UFC would then look at that and say, okay, we can give this guy some more money because he's bringing in more views. But see, I think Francis Ngannou overbid himself. I think he may have had a false sense of what he was generating in terms of pay-per-views and money and his worth for the company. And evidently, through the negotiations, Dana White's tired of it, and he's cutting ties with him. Now, don't get me wrong. These fighters should get so much money. They're putting their health on the line. Francis Ngannou struggled his whole life. He's got a hell of a story. And at the same time, he's a hell of a fighter. He's worth probably what he was asking, but at the same time, though, from Dana White's business ownership perspective and that conversion rate of what they delivered in terms of pay-per-view buys versus what they're asking, that's the metrics that Dana White is using. So at the end of the day, I think that Francis Ngannou just priced himself out, and Dana White probably didn't like how he was talking about the UFC's pay and this and that. So yeah, Dana White just cut ties with him, which is very unfortunate for us, the viewers, because we are missing out on, the heavyweight champion, one of the baddest men on the planet.